I'm gonna give you the sucker. But I got some demands. I'm thinking Lilyhammer.
You give us Aldo DeLucci, and we'll send you to the goddamn North Pole.
Mert Schaffer with Toro Magazine, and I'm sitting with Stevie Van Zandt, the star of Lilyhammer, a member of Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band, and a former soprano. Is there anything on your resume that I forgot?
You got the main thing. I'm a DJ.
DJ?
Yeah.
You look like a DJ. Did you play the party I was at last week?
I got the perfect face for radio. You got to admit that. Yeah, I got a radio show that's doing quite well called Little Steven's Underground Garage, and it's all over America, Canada. I was at my affiliate yesterday, Q107.
And you came directly from the Grammys. What was it like to kick off the show?
Well, it was intense, you know, and I think the whole show felt intense, and maybe because of the atmosphere of, you know, the Whitney Houston thing just elevated everybody's performance a bit. But I also thought the production was just extraordinary.
You helped to develop the Jersey Shore sound, you know, the heartland kind of rock. What do you think now when people say Jersey Shore and they think of the situation in Snooki?
Snooki could have been a background singer, I think, for the Asbury Jukes. You know, she just arrived a few years earlier. She might have had what it took. We were probably around you know, the same level as intellect as the new ones. You know, we weren't much different, to tell you the truth.
I heard the story about how you got involved with the Sopranos, and it was that you were inducting the Rascals into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And is it true that David Chase just saw that and was like, hey, you belong on the Sopranos?
I know it sounds like a ridiculous Hollywood story. I wouldn't believe it either if it didn't happen to me, but that is pretty much what happened. He saw me on inducting the Rascals in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Happened to be the first time that show was ever telecast. You know, it was always a private ceremony, so destiny was at work there and whatever. But yeah, that's a true story.
How did you get involved with Lilyhammer? I'm having trouble, like, you know, that's the guy from The Sopranos. All of a sudden he's on some, like, Norwegian show?
Well, if you need to, you could pretend Silvio came out of the coma and went in witness protection. But it's actually quite a different character if you're a real, you know, a gangster fanatic,
right,
you know,
right.
if the nuances are, you know, if they matter to you. It's a fun character to play. And then throw him into the Norwegian situation and you have a whole new thing. Because it really is a culture clash. They're a monoculture, they're very conservative. They make the rules, they follow the rules, there's no crime, you know. The government takes care of everybody, womb to tomb, all medical, all education, very civilized, okay? You drop this guy into the middle of that, the one-man crime wave. The fun part was just revealing all the nuance of Norwegian culture, which nobody knows. Nobody knows a thing about that country.
And you're more involved than just acting in it, you know, like you're writing and you came up with the theme song.
Well, that was the thing. I had to be more involved in order to feel good about doing it, because it was a little bit risky, you know.
And what's next for you? What are you working on? I think you mentioned the Rock and Roll Foundation.
Well, we do have the foundation right now writing a history of rock and roll, and the Columbia Teachers College is working, turning it into a curriculum. I'm going to do a tour with Bruce Springsteen starting in the middle of March. The radio show continues. My syndicated show continues on pretty much the biggest stations around, and my 2 channels on Sirius XM continue.
You're almost as busy as Ryan Seacrest. I find that you're like a tougher Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah, well, you know, we'll see what comes up. You know, I'm ready for whatever it is.
Oh, you're in the postal service, huh?
Oh, no, I'm the lensmann. I'm chief of police. Så ja, her sover du trygt. Sier han. Ser deg da, Jonny.
Okay.